motivation behind the creation of KYVE, and what problem is KYVE trying to solve?
So a bit of backstory about KYVE. KYVE started as a bounty between Parity Foundation and KYVE. So our two co-founders were on kind of a mission on how to bring historical data from Polkadot to KYVE in a decentralized manner. So KYVE came out of that. So it started literally as a bounty program, and then after, like, KYVE team was quite impressed about the idea behind KYVE. That was not KYVE before, but the idea behind the bounty, and Parity Foundation too. So they introduced, like, our two co-founders to many other layer one blockchain, such as Solana, Avalanche, Near, Celo, Aurora, and a few others. And what KYVE is solving in, like, really simple term, it's like kind of building decentralized archival nodes. So right now on any proof of stake mechanism network, the problem that you have, it's like node are incentive, like validators, like you guys are incentive to produce block, but not to keep the full historical data of the blockchain. So what you are doing, you are pruning your node to, like, reduce the cost and have more benefits of running your node. And that's lead to kind of centralization of those historical data. So, like, layer one most of the time give small grants to validators, or like to, like, other, like, participants to, like, maintain this kind of infrastructure that are most of the time hosted on centralized server, and, like, it's complicated for developers to access those historical data, and you are, like, facing the issue of those data being centralized and relying on a third-party provider. So the idea behind KYVE is taking all those data and storing them in a decentralized way on decentralized storage solutions such as KYVE, but we are not limited to KYVE. So IPFS, Filecoin, Greenfield, Machina, and Storage, a few others, Jackal, also in Cosmos, and a few others like that.
So I would like to know more, like, how does KYVE work? But can you explain it with the concept of data validity layer, please?
Yeah, sure. So it's quite easy when you understand the issue. So KYVE is working, like, for each data stream. So a data stream can be Web3 data, but we are not limited to Web3 data. We can work with any kind of deterministic data. So that can be also Web2 data, but let's focus on the Web3 example.
I see.
For Web3 data, we're gonna have, like, for each data stream, we're gonna have a data pool. So you can think of a data pool like a liquidity pool on Osmosis. So you're gonna have a liquidity pool for, I don't know, Atom to Osmo, Atom to Axelar, Atom to Injective, and so on and so on. So you're gonna have a, like, data pool for Avalanche, a data pool for Cosmos Hub, data pool for Axelar, data pool for Injective, and so on. And on those data pool, you have validators that will join the network. So the network is fully permissionless, and it's working like a proof of stake mechanism on the protocol layer. So people will put in collateral some KYVE token to be part of the active set validators on each of those data pool.
Right.
And on the side, we'll run an infrastructure on, for example, Cosmos Hub blockchain, we'll run a Gaia node. So we will have 50 validators on the Cosmos Hub blockchain that will run 50 Gaia nodes on the side. One will be selected randomly according to the size of his stake, take his Gaia node as a data source, take a bundle, so a piece of data, let's say block 1 to 150, upload those data into KYVE, take the hash, go back to the pool, and submit this hash to the other validators. The other validators will check basically if A equals B, so if the data are matching, because it's blockchain data and deterministic data, it should be always the same no matter your data source.
Right.
And we'll compare with their data source if the data are correct. So we're gonna have, like, 49 checked. If we reach out a quorum saying the data are valid, the hash is stored on KYVE blockchain, and like, the data stored on KYVE can be accessible for everyone and for free. And if the data is marked as invalid, the uploader gets slashed, basically, so he loses part of his collateral, and we go to the next bundle. So it's how it's work. We don't archive snapshots. We really archive from genesis to the latest state in a decentralized way. So it takes time to catch up, because, like, blockchain continue to produce block, and we need to archive the historical data. So for example, Cosmos Hub took us around, like, 3 months to archive, but right now it's fully archived. So you can access those data for ELT pipeline to do data analytics, building stuff, or, like, state sync in a decentralized way for validators.
Right. Does KYVE have any competitor? And if so, what makes KYVE so special among its competitor?
So in fact, we don't have that many competitors because people are comparing most of the time KYVE and the graph. So the graph is an indexer where you can query data. That's true, but they don't have a decentralized validation process of those data and making them to make them accessible public good, kind of. Actually, you can build the graph on top of KYVE. You can use KYVE to build an indexer. What makes us really special, it's like really this validation layer and archiving like historical data. So we are not an RPC like stream like data provider. We can't give you like stream data because you have the validation process. So let's say we'll have like 30-second to 2-minute latency on the data we are providing. But we can help you to bootstrap your node, to be on the latest thing, to have like a node running and querying those data for yourself. But we don't have we can collaborate with many like RPC endpoint provider and like giving them the opportunity to don't have to run archival node, but just to run the stream live data access for their customers and leveraging KYVE to access historical data.
Who is KYVE Network for? And is there any specific target user group that KYVE is focusing on?
So right now, we have different user persona. Let's say we have 3 user persona. So with state sync and block sync, we are heavily focusing on the validators persona. So like you and many others, but you in particular. After you can do also, as I say, you have the ELT pipeline that allow you to import all data that have been uploaded for KYVE in your local warehouse. So such MongoDB, Snowflake, MyGraphSQL, Postgres, SQL, and so on, many. So for that, we are leveraging Airbyte. Airbyte is a Web2 solution, an ELT pipeline. So the ELT pipeline, it extract, load, and transform the data. And with those data, you can do data analytics. So for example, you can think of it like Flipside can leverage it to build to have KYVE as a source of data to do data analytics dashboard. Dune Analytics can also use KYVE to do data analytics dashboards with trustless data. And then after we have Web3 Builder. So you can use it to like have the full history of your transaction on your wallet in a decentralized manner. You can have a multi-chain explorer and be sure that the data you are querying are correct. And even more, I think, in terms of accounting stuff, it's super important because like we see more and more big institutional coming into Web3.
For sure.
And those people need to rely on some source of data that are trustless and don't want to spend a lot of money maintaining infrastructure and maintaining all of that because it's very costly and taking a lot of time to maintain an archival node. So with a solution like KYVE, they can already like import all data from a blockchain they are working on the local warehouse or on an environment that they are used to work with, and it will be way more easier. So like the 3 persona will be validator, data scientists, and Web3 builders. And then after we have the community people that are really interested, like running protocol validators on KYVE or consensus validator, but that's more on the like tech side, like to maintain the infrastructure of KYVE, but not the access part, data access part.
I see. Thank you so much. So we would like to know what KYVE is working on right now and what are some updates that we can expect from KYVE Network in the next few months maybe?
Okay, so in the next few months, so we are in September, so let's say until beginning of 2024?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. so right now, because like for the integration, we are working by runtime. Right now we are really focusing on Cosmos blockchain, so like on the Tendermint runtime. So we have archived, as I say, Cosmos data. Right now we are archiving Osmosis data, so with the block result also. We're gonna archive Archway. We have if the proposal go through, because like KYVE is fully permissionless, so anyone can create a data pool. It's go through the governance process. So we have a vote going on. So let's see, but I hope it's gonna go through, and we're gonna archive Archway. Then we're gonna have few more integration, I think, with few Cosmos chain. So you have a proposal right now on our testnet to archive Axelar, but we're gonna have also DYDX coming to Cosmos. So I think it's gonna be a big chain requiring a lot of data analytics also, because they have like in their block result lot of information. So it's going to be very interesting to archive those data from beginning. Celestia going to launch also.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Yeah, very exciting. Very good product. Data availability compared to data validity, it's like two different topics that people have like a misunderstanding, but it's like very different.
Yeah, I'm also still studying.
Yeah, it's like kind of complex. So it's
Glad
like
to have you in our interview.
Thank you. So yeah, it's like all those chains are launching. You have also Chronos that have posted an article lately. I think like the archival node right now is 2.4 terabytes. So there is a lot of work to do for many like layer one blockchain. So we are going to focus on Cosmos evenly, but we have also all of our investors and partners. So to name few, like we have like Mina, Avalanche, Solana that are really in a need also to be fully decentralized archiving. So we're gonna move forward also on other ecosystem and integrate more runtime. I think in the next few months, and for sure like continue working on our products. So StateSync will be fully ready, and we're gonna continue to improve it, but also the ELT pipeline and all other stuff that are needed by like developers or validators, and integrating also more decentralized storage solution for KYVE.
Yeah. KYVE has its native token, which is called KYVE Token, obviously, KYVE.
Exactly.
So I would like to know, what can we do with KYVE Token?
So actually you have the basic thing. So like, as I said, like KYVE is fully permissionless. So you have the governance, you can do like governance proposal with the token, governance vote as many other chain. You have also the staking part. So since we have like two layers, we have the consensus one, you can either run your validator on the consensus layer, on the protocol layer, and if you don't want to run your own validator, you can stake your token to securize the network. But we have also a different use case that is very unique to KYVE that is called funding. So basically, because you need to incentivize people to run archival node from other chain and to validate those data and upload them into those decentralized storage solution, you need to have a way of giving them a reward.
Right.
So how it's work, basically, we have an inflation splitting, so we have a Cosmos chain, so 60% of the inflation is going to the consensus layer and 40% is going to the protocol layer, and then on top of that you can fund a pool. So a funder will be someone that will put in the pool some token, and those tokens will be distributed to the validators, actually the uploaders of each bundle, once the upload is marked, the bundle is marked as valid. So that's another use case of KYVE token that is really like, I don't see any other project doing that. We are the only one using the token to do funding to like incentive validators on the protocol layer. It's for that we are quite unique also and don't have competitor on this aspect.
Very clever.
Yeah. I mean, more like, if someone is not funding a pool, that means the data are not relevant for people, like meaning like no one will use the data at the end. So it's like kind also making sure that only the pool with like higher interest are like keep uploading data. So yeah, the three use cases, let's say, will be like governance, staking, like for like validators, and after will be the funding part.
So for those who want to learn more about KYVE as a beginner, how can they get started? What are some resources available for beginners?
So because we have a quite unique approach, and I haven't seen any product like us on the market somewhere else.
Very
so
unique.
it's like kind of when you innovate, it's kind of complicated to educate people.
Right.
So we have tried to push forward also on this subject. So we have a YouTube channel for sure. With a LE5 video if you really want a quick overview of KYVE. So it's 3 minutes video explaining
That's
you.
Great.
Yeah, it's super quick, super easy with some graphic, super cool voiceover on top of it. We have our docs for sure for more developer focus. And then we have the KYVE Academy. So the KYVE Academy is not focusing only on KYVE, but focusing also like more on blockchain in general. So you can learn the history of blockchain, how blockchain starts, and it starts like
even better.
Yeah, and it starts way more before Bitcoin, and that people think it starts only with Bitcoin, but no, it starts way more before, and it's super interesting to learn about it. So you have small quizzes at the end to test your knowledge and so on, and then After, for sure, you have more related KYVE topic. So how you can, how KYVE is working. So KYVE fundamental level 1, KYVE fundamental level 2, how I can build my data analytics dashboard comparing NFT minting on EVM chain. So from EVMOS and Moonbeam, for example. You can do like all these courses. It's free for everyone and accessible for everyone. You have some quizzes. And we are also doing like some courses with our partner that we are developing. So feel free if you want to do one also for this conversation. Like, would be a pleasure to have you doing a course for like our user. But I don't know how to use a wallet, how to like take the Archway data and what you can do with those Archway data. Like, it's really like all in one. So it's like starting from very beginner and people that don't know about blockchain in general, to people that know and want to use those data to build stuff. So yeah, I think we have all this kind of approach that you can take if you're not familiar and want to learn more about KYVE. And for sure, feel free to join our Discord server where we are always happy to answer all your questions. Telegram and Reddit, all this kind of stuff, like basic.
And of course Twitter.
Yeah, and of course Twitter, Twitter. If you want, like, we post daily updates like twice per day. So if you want to be posted about what we are doing in the space.
Yeah. Thank you so much.